He once told me the passenger seat in his car was mine. Not in a dramatic way. Grant Whitmore was never dramatic when he wanted to be cruel. He was tender then, careful. The kind of man who could take my hand at a red light and make 10 years feel like a promise written into the world. That night, I stood across the street from Whitmore Global, staring at his black town car under the lights, and another woman was sitting where I used to sit. Madison Vale had one bare knee angled toward him, one hand resting on the center console, and my silk scarf tied around her throat like a trophy. She laughed at something Grant said. He smiled back at her with the private softness I had once believed belonged to me. My phone trembled in my hand. Cole Bennett's name glowed on the screen. When I answered, he did not bother with hello. Cole asked, "Please tell me you're not doing something emotionally stupid." I watched Grant lean closer to Madison. I'm watching him choose her in real time. His voice sharpened. "Where are you?" "Outside Whitmore." "Do you want me to come with a baseball bat or a lawyer?" The laugh that came out of me broke halfway through. "Neither. I just needed to know I wasn't crazy." Cole went quiet for 1 second. Then he murmured, "Some men don't make promises, Evelyn. They just make you feel chosen." Across the street, Madison tipped her head back. The scarf shifted, and the streetlight caught the pattern my mother had loved. Blue flowers, silver edge, a little tear near the hem I had never repaired because I liked that it was real. "So does she," I whispered. "That little snake knows exactly what she's doing." "Then stop protecting him." I looked at Grant's car, at the seat he once called mine, at the woman wearing my life around her neck. "I'm not protecting him anymore." I hung up and crossed the street. Grant saw me first. His smile vanished so quickly it almost made me laugh. Madison followed his gaze, and instead of looking ashamed, she looked pleased, like she had been waiting for me to arrive and confirm she mattered. Grant stepped out of the car. He straightened his jacket, using that CEO posture he wore when he wanted the room to forget he was a man who lied. He snapped, "You're late." I stopped beside the open passenger door. "So are you." His brow tightened. "What does that mean?" I looked past him at Madison, then back into his face. "Tell me, Grant, how long has my seat belonged to her?" He scoffed. "You're stalking my assistant now." "That's your defense." Madison slid out of the car with a careful little sigh. My scarf was soft against her skin. "Evelyn, this isn't what you think." I did not answer her. She had not earned my breath. Grant lowered his voice. "Madison posts everything. It doesn't mean anything." "Then explain the hotel. Room 603. Last night I called you. Your phone rang through the wall. I heard it, Grant. I heard you." For the first time, his confidence cracked. "It wasn't what you think." "Don't insult me." "I was drunk. She took me there. I didn't plan it." "You didn't plan to sleep with her, but you planned every lie after." He stepped closer, reaching for my hand. I moved before he could touch me. "It happened once," he insisted. "Once doesn't get her into your car. Once doesn't put my scarf on her body. Once doesn't make her wear the watch I bought you in Milan." I swallowed, the sharp thing rising in my throat. "You didn't make one mistake. You made 1,000 choices." Madison looked away, pretending to be wounded. Grant whispered, "I love you." I laughed, not because it was funny, because if I did not laugh, I might have folded right there on the sidewalk. "No, you love being loved by me." He watched me slide the apartment key from my ring. "What are you doing?" "What I should have done the moment I heard your phone ring through that hotel wall." "You can't leave me over one night." "I'm not leaving because of one night. I'm leaving because you came home and lied to my face." He snapped, "You owe me a chance." I placed the key in his palm. "No, Grant, you owe me 10 years. Welcome back to Wounds and Wonder. My name is Evelyn Hart, and this is the story of the night I stopped begging a man to remember he loved me. If you've ever watched someone betray you and then call your pain the problem, stay with me. Tell me where you're watching from tonight, and if you know what it feels like to finally choose yourself, leave a comment. Like, share, and subscribe because some stories are not just told. They are survived." Grant closed his fist around the key. You're not thinking clearly. I've never been clearer. You don't get to throw away 10 years because of one mistake. It wasn't one mistake, it was a pattern. I said I'm sorry. You said it because you got caught. Madison spoke softly, like a girl in a chapel. Grant, maybe we should go. I finally turned to her. Were you drunk when you put on my scarf? Were you drunk when you sat in my seat? Or were you sober enough to know exactly which pieces of me he had handed you? Grant barked, enough. She's my assistant. I can't control everything she posts. No, you just enjoyed it. I walked away before the shaking reached my knees. Behind me, Grant called. If you walk out, don't expect me to chase you. I did not turn around. I'm not asking you to chase me. I'm telling you I'm gone. The next morning, I went to Whitmore Global to collect the personal things I had left in Grant's executive apartment. A decade with a man leaves you everywhere. A sweater in a drawer, a book beside his bed, a framed photo in a hallway where employees had once smiled at me like I belonged. Madison stood at reception in a cream blouse and a smile sharp enough to cut fruit. She chirped, Mrs. Hart, Mr. Whitmore is in a meeting. I'm not here for him. Her eyes dipped to the cardboard boxes in my hands. Oh, you must be moving out already. That was fast. Stealing someone's boyfriend usually moves things along. Her smile did not move. I didn't steal anyone. Grant makes his own choices. That might be the first honest thing you've said. She stepped closer and lowered her voice so only I could hear. I know this is hard for you. Grant told me your history with his family is complicated. They took you in when you had nowhere to go. It must be scary losing that safety net. Something cold slid down my spine. She had not just stolen my seat. She had been fed my wounds. The coffee in my hand tipped. I did not throw it. I let it fall into the trash beside her expensive heels. I smiled. Relax, I don't waste good coffee on trash. Her eyes filled instantly. She turned as Grant came out of the elevator, and her voice trembled for the audience gathering in the lobby. Why are you humiliating me? I was just trying to be kind. Grant crossed the marble floor. What did you do? I stared at him. Interesting, you didn't even ask what happened. Madison touched his sleeve. Grant, please don't be mad at her. She's just hurt. He faced me like I was an employee who had disappointed him. Apologized to Madison. The lobby went silent. You brought another woman into our bed, I said, and now you want me to apologize to her. He hissed, lower your voice. Why? Afraid your employees might find out their CEO lies better than he leads. Madison dabbed her eyes. I never wanted to hurt you. Then why were you wearing my scarf in his car? I didn't know it was yours. Grant muttered, it was just a scarf, Evelyn. To you, maybe. To me, it was one more piece of my life you handed to her. His jaw tightened. You're embarrassing yourself. No, Grant, I'm embarrassing you. That was when Cole Bennett walked through the revolving doors. Cole had always looked like trouble dressed correctly. Charcoal suit, clean lines, eyes that noticed everything. He was the founder of Bennett's strategy and the only man I knew who could make silence feel like a signed contract. He glanced at Madison, then Grant, then me. Touchy morning at Whitmore, huh? Grant went rigid. Who gave you permission to bully my employee? Cole's mouth curved. This is between me and Evelyn. Not when she humiliates my assistant in public. Madison whispered, Mr. Bennett, you don't understand. She attacked me first. Cole looked at her with polite boredom. Sweetheart, I bill by the hour. Don't waste it lying. Grant snapped, what is this? Cole opened his leather folder. A formal notice. Ms. Hart is here to retrieve personal property. Any interference will be documented. This is unnecessary. Cheaters always think paperwork is unnecessary. Grant stepped forward. Watch your mouth. Cole did not blink. Make me. I picked up my boxes. Cole, let's go. He moved beside me, not in front of me, not behind me, beside me. After you. Grant reached for my elbow. Cole's voice went flat. I'd advise against touching her. Grant's hand dropped. As we walked out, Madison called after us. "She's just trying to make you jealous." Cole pushed open the door for me. "Different car, different man. You always this arrogant, Whitmore." Grant glared. "Only when I'm right." In Cole's car, the city blurred around me. He handed me a coffee from the cup holder. I looked at it. "You carry emergency coffee now." "I carry solutions. Coffee is one of them." He kept his eyes on traffic. "Cry if you need to. I'll pretend traffic is fascinating." I'm not crying over him. Good, he doesn't look worth the mascara. That should have made me smile. It almost did. By evening, Grant was waiting outside the apartment we used to share, already angry that Cole had appeared at his company. He accused, "You're using Bennett to punish me." "You punished yourself." Madison is emotional. She didn't mean those things. She wore my scarf, sat in my seat, and called you Grant like she had won a prize. She meant every second. Then he said the sentence that severed the last string between us. "If you leave tonight, I won't keep covering for you. People at Whitmore still think of you as family because I allowed it. Without me, you're just the girl my parents took pity on." For 10 years, he had called me home. Now he was calling me charity. I nodded slowly. "Thank you." He frowned. "For what?" "For finally sounding like the man you really are." 3 hours later, my phone lit up with a photo from an unknown number. Madison stood in front of a mirror wearing a black evening dress, Grant's hand on her waist, and my mother's necklace at her throat. The room went silent around me. That necklace was the only thing I had left from my mother. She wore it when she sang while making pancakes. She wore it in the hospital when she told me to be brave. After she died, I locked it in Grant's safe because I thought trusting him with it meant I was building a life. I called him. He answered on the 3rd ring. Grant sounded tired. "What is it?" "Tell me she didn't take this from your safe." "Evelyn, calm down." "Don't you dare tell me to calm down." "I'll handle it." "You let your mistress wear my dead mother's necklace." He exhaled. "Don't call her that." "That's what bothers you. Not that she stole from me. Not that she sent me the photo. That I called her what she is." "I don't know how she got it." "Where are you?" "The office. Don't come here and make a scene." "My mother's necklace is around her neck. There will be a scene." Madison was in Grant's private conference room when I arrived. She touched the necklace as if she had been waiting for me. I pointed at her throat. "Take it off." She blinked. "Grant gave it to me." "That belonged to my dead mother." Her lips parted. "I didn't know." Grant came in behind me. "Evelyn." I turned. "Did you give it to her?" Madison rushed toward him. "Grant, I swear I didn't know. You said I could borrow something pretty for the gala." He looked trapped. "It was temporary." "You opened the safe." "It's a necklace." "No, it was proof I trusted you." Madison reached for the clasp. "I'll give it back. I just don't want her to touch me." Grant stepped between us. "I need you to promise this ends here. No posts, no lawyers, no public drama. Madison made a mistake. She stole from me. I'm protecting all of us." "No, you're protecting your image." He lowered his voice. "Do you know what a theft accusation against my assistant would do to my company? So my mother's necklace is less important than your stock price. Thank you for clarifying." His eyes hardened. "Don't make me your enemy, Evelyn." I reached around him and unclasped the necklace myself. Madison gasped as if I had burned her. I held the chain in my fist. "You already did." The next morning, my building access at Whitmore Global was suspended. The guard scanned my old badge, and the turnstile flashed red. He mumbled, "Ms. Hart, your access has been suspended." Grant appeared near the elevators with Madison behind him, wearing innocence like perfume. "I think it's best," he declared. "You need space." "No, you needed to keep me away from her." Madison touched his sleeve. "Grant is just trying to prevent another incident." "Another incident?" "Last night you threatened me." "You recorded me." Grant rubbed his forehead. "Evelyn, go home." I laughed once. "Home? You made sure I don't have one here." The guard stepped closer. Cole's voice cut through the lobby. "Touch her, and your retirement plan becomes a lawsuit." Grant turned. "Is that Bennett?" Cole strolled in like he owned the marble under his shoes. "Miss me already, Whitmore." "Stay out of this." "Too late. You just turned it into a legal matter." Grant's voice dropped. "You really think your new boss and his fancy lawyer can protect you from me?" I lifted my chin. "I think the truth will." He leaned close enough that I could smell his cologne. "Then I'll make sure no one believes yours." I should have been afraid. A part of me was, but another part of me had finally learned the shape of him. Cole drove me back to the hotel I had moved into temporarily. He did not fill the silence with comfort I had not asked for. At the curb, he said, "Lock your door. Call me if anything feels wrong. You don't have to keep showing up for me. I don't do things I don't want to do. Bossy. Alive employees are my favorite kind." I almost smiled again. This time it reached my mouth. That night, Madison came to my hotel. When I opened the door, she stood in the hallway holding her phone low at her waist, camera pointed up. I asked, "How did you find my address?" She blinked through tears that had not earned their way to her eyes. "I just wanted to talk." "Then turn off your camera." "I'm not recording you." "You lie worse than Grant." Her face changed. The soft girl vanished, and the woman underneath stepped forward. "Why do you hate me so much?" "I don't hate you. I'm disgusted by you." "I love him." "You love his name, his money, his family, his last name." She smiled, "And yet he picked me." "No, he lowered himself to you." Madison's lip trembled for the camera. "Please stop. I'm not trying to take anything from you." "Then stop wearing my life." She reached for my sleeve. I jerked away. "Don't touch me." Then Madison screamed. Not because I hurt her, because she needed the sound. The next morning, a sliced video of me went viral. Madison had posted her tears, her scream, my sharpest lines, and none of the poison that came before them. Brooke Landry, a gossip host who would sell a funeral if the lighting was good, titled it, "Obsessed Ex Terrorizes Innocent Assistant." Reporters waited outside Bennett's strategy before I even arrived. One shouted, "Evelyn Hart, did you harass Madison Vale last night?" Another called, "Are you using your history with the Whitmores to pressure Grant?" A woman pushed a microphone near my face. "Is it true you threatened his new girlfriend?" Then coffee splashed across my coat. Someone laughed, "Karma spills." I froze. Cole appeared beside me, his hand hovering near my back without touching. "Look at me." "Cole." "Don't look at them, look at me." My breath came too fast. He faced the cameras. "Every camera here just recorded harassment. Say one more word about her past, her family, or her body, and you'll hear from my lawyers before lunch." A reporter yelled, "Are you two involved?" Cole did not flinch. "She's under my protection." Inside the elevator, he finally turned to me. "Keep the coat on. You're shaking." "I'm fine." "You're not, but you are standing." He reached for the coffee stain, then stopped. "I'm not him. If you say stop, I stop." Something in my chest loosened. "Don't stop." When the elevator doors opened, Grant was waiting in the hallway. He snarled, "Get your hands off her." Cole looked at me, not him. "Do you want me to?" I held Grant's gaze. "No." Grant laughed without humor. "You're making a mistake." I learned from the best. "I came to fix this." Cole answered, "Funny, every time you say that, she ends up bleeding." Grant ignored him. "Madison was scared. She posted out of fear." "She cut out everything she said to me." "Maybe she panicked." "She edited, captioned, tagged 3 gossip accounts and pinned the worst comments. That's not panic, that's strategy." He glanced away. He knew. That was the worst part. He knew, and still he needed me to be smaller than the scandal. "The board is asking questions," he admitted. "Investors are nervous. Madison is getting death threats." And I got coffee thrown on me this morning. My childhood is trending like gossip. People are calling me a parasite because your mistress lied. Then make a statement. Say you misunderstood. Say you overreacted. You want me to apologize. I want you to help stop this before it destroys more lives. Cole stepped forward. You don't get to sacrifice her twice. Grant snapped, stay out of it. Cole smiled thinly. Make me. I lifted my phone. Say it again, Grant. His eyes dropped to the screen. You're recording me now. I'm learning to protect myself, from you especially. After he left, I stood in Cole's office and stared at the skyline. I hate that he can still hurt me, I confessed. Cole kept a careful distance. That doesn't make you weak. He gave her my things. Now he wants my apology too. He doesn't get to take anything else. You say that like you can stop him. I can, Cole replied, but I'd rather help you destroy him yourself. Why? Because you're not a sad story, Evelyn. You're a warning. I did kiss him then. Not because I was healed, but because for one stolen second, I wanted to remember that my body could choose something other than grief. He kissed me back once, then pulled away first. Relax, he murmured. I'm not collecting kisses from women who are bleeding. I'm not bleeding. You are, just not where people can see. That night, someone sent a box of white roses to my hotel room. The petals were wet with something dark red, and a card in block letters read, "Stop talking." I called Cole. He arrived with Nate Rivera, his security director, and 2 officers. He took one look at the box and told me, "Don't touch anything." Nate photographed the hallway. "We'll pull surveillance." Cole stood between me and the flowers. "We'll test the liquid. Could be animal blood, fake blood, anything." "You don't have to stay," I said. "I know, I'm staying anyway. Argue with me tomorrow. Tonight, save your energy." "Are you always this bossy?" "Only when someone sends blood to my employee." "Employee for now." He looked at me. For now. By morning, Nate had traced the delivery to a courier paid through a Shell account. Madison had used a middleman, but she had not covered her tracks well enough. There was more. Nate placed his tablet on Cole's desk. "Brooke Landry posted a teaser 10 minutes ago. Tomorrow, she's exposing the truth about the obsessed ex who terrorized an innocent girl." Her words. I felt the blood drain from my face. They're going to turn my childhood into content. Cole's voice was calm. Then we turn their lies into evidence. The next attack came from inside the work. Bennett's strategy had spent months preparing a proposal for a national retail contract. It was smart, disciplined, and built around my risk plan. On presentation morning, Halston Media walked in with the same strategy at a cheaper price. Cole's face went cold in the conference room. "No one leaves until we know where the leak came from." Nate worked through the access logs while I sat with my stomach twisting. Only 5 people had touched the final deck after midnight. Then he stopped. The file was opened on a device, registered to Madison Vale. I stared. How did she get access? Nate's mouth tightened. Through Grant Whitmore's executive approval key. Whitmore Global was an early investor before they pulled out. Someone reactivated old permissions last night. Cole looked at me. This wasn't a leak. I finished for him. It was sabotage. I went to Grant with the logs because some foolish part of me still wanted to believe he would be horrified. He was not. He skimmed the pages and asked, "Where did you get this?" "That's your first question. This is company property. And Madison shouldn't have my proposal." Madison appeared in his office doorway like guilt had summoned her. "Is she accusing me again?" I faced her. "Your device opened my proposal." She looked at Grant with wide eyes. "I opened what you told me to open. You said they were old files." Grant seized on it. "See, she didn't even know what it was. She wore my mother's necklace, filmed me, sent reporters after me, and now used your access to steal my work. You're still standing in front of her." Grant warned, "If you drag Madison into a lawsuit, I'll have to respond." "Then respond." Madison wiped one tear. "Some women lose a man and try to destroy his entire life." I looked at Grant. You're letting her say that. He said nothing, and that silence became my answer. 2 nights later, Victoria Whitmore hosted her annual charity gala in a ballroom filled with white flowers, glass chandeliers, and people who smiled while measuring each other's pain. I went because Victoria asked me to. Grant arrived with Madison on his arm. Victoria saw them and stopped mid-sentence. Madison clasped her hands. "Mrs. Whitmore, thank you for having me." Victoria's mouth barely moved. "I didn't." Grant frowned. "Mom." "Don't mom me, not tonight." Then Madison swayed. Grant caught her. She pressed a hand to her stomach and whispered loudly enough for 3 tables to hear. "I'm sorry. I've just been dizzy lately. I didn't want to announce it like this." I went cold. Victoria asked, "Announce what?" Madison lowered her eyes. "I might be pregnant." Every head turned toward me before anyone looked at Grant. I asked him, "Is it yours?" He swallowed. "We're still figuring things out." "Of course you are." Madison whispered, "I'm sorry, Evelyn. I know this hurts you, but this baby is innocent." "If there is a baby." Grant's eyes flashed. "Don't. You don't even know if she's pregnant, but you're already defending her like I attacked a child." "Because I know you hate her." "I don't hate her enough to invent a pregnancy. I hate liars enough to ask for proof." Cole appeared beside me. "If you're pregnant, congratulations. We'll need the clinic name, doctor, and report date." Grant snapped, "This is family business." Cole looked around the room. "Family? Who exactly is your family, Whitmore? Evelyn, Madison, or that so-called child?" Later, in the ladies' room, Madison waited by the mirror and brushed the sleeve of my dress. "I saw the zipper earlier," she purred. "It looked fragile." "You mean after you touched it?" She smiled. "Grant didn't believe you about the necklace. He won't believe you about this either." Cole stepped in before I could answer. Madison gasped, "Mr. Bennett, this is a ladies' room." He glanced at her, and yet somehow the most poisonous thing in it isn't the perfume. After he sent her out, he fixed my torn zipper with one cufflink, his fingers careful at my spine. "You're going to lose it," I warned. "Keep it. I like leaving expensive things on beautiful women." Then Madison screamed. We ran into the hall. She lay at the bottom of a short-service stairwell, clutching her stomach. "My baby," she cried. "What did you do?" Grant ran to her, then looked up at me as if the verdict had already been delivered. He shouted, "She pushed a pregnant woman." The ballroom erupted. I said, "I was in the restroom with Cole. I came out when I heard her scream." Grant's face was terrible. "You expect me to believe that?" "You believed every lie she told you. When I tell the truth, suddenly you need proof." Madison sobbed, "Please don't fight, just save the baby." Cole raised his voice. "Nate, get the hallway footage." Grant pointed at me. "Keep her here until police arrive." Cole stepped in front of me. "Touch her and I break your wrist legally." I looked at Grant, the man who had once held me through nightmares, and asked, "After 10 years, you really think I could do that?" He did not answer fast enough. That was answer enough. Nate returned with bad news. The hallway camera was disabled 10 minutes before Madison fell. Cole asked, "Who disabled it?" Nate looked at me first, then said, "Grant's account." Grant shouted, "I didn't do that." "Your account did," Cole replied. Madison wailed, "They're trying to fake footage. I'm scared." Grant turned on me again. "Are you trying to frame her now?" I stared at him. "God, you're stupid." His hand shot out and caught my wrist. Cole moved so fast I barely saw it. "Touch her again, and we stop talking through lawyers." Grant spat, "You think you can take her from me?" Cole's voice was low. "You lost her before I ever touched her." I pulled my wrist free. "I was never yours. I loved you. That was my choice. Leaving you is also my choice." Then Nate's phone buzzed. We found backup footage. The main camera was disabled, but the service elevator camera caught the stairwell reflection. He turned the screen. In the reflection of a polished brass panel, Madison checked the hallway, placed one hand on the rail, and threw herself down the last few steps. The room went silent. Madison whispered, "That's fake." Grant looked at the screen, then at me, and I saw the first real fracture in him. But he still left with her. In Cole's car, I stared at my hands. He thought I could hurt a baby. He thought what was convenient. Then Nate called. The clinic named in Madison's pregnancy report had never tested a patient named Madison Vale. A staff member had forged the letterhead for cash and was willing to testify. There had never been a baby, just a weapon. Cole asked, "Do you want to release everything now?" I shook my head. "Not yet." "Why?" "If we release it now, she'll cry and call it fake. Let her lie where everyone can hear her." Cole's eyes warmed with something dangerous. "Now you're thinking like me." Madison announced a live stream for that night. My truth, what Evelyn Hart did to me and my unborn child. Grant came to Bennett's strategy an hour before it began. He looked exhausted. "Madison is going live tonight. This could ruin everyone." "No, Grant, it could ruin you. The board is already on edge. And somehow that is still about you." He rubbed both hands over his face. "Did you know Madison faked the pregnancy?" "You suspected." His silence was filthy. "You looked me in the eye and let me stand there like a murderer." "I was trying to contain the situation." "You mean contain me?" "If this goes public, Madison goes down. I go down. Whitmore goes down." "Then tell the truth first. Admit you cheated, protected her, and let her use your access to hurt me." "I can't do that." "Then you didn't come for forgiveness. You came to ask me to die quietly so you could survive loudly." He whispered, "We were supposed to get married." Forever ended in room 603. Madison went live at 8. She sat in soft lighting, hair brushed over one shoulder, voice trembling. "I didn't want to do this," she began, "but Evelyn Hart won't stop attacking me." Cole stood beside me in the dark conference room while Madison played sliced clips of me. My anger, my necklace, my sharpest lines, never her provocation. Cole asked, "Your call, we can stop here." "No, she hasn't lied about the baby yet." Madison touched her stomach. "I still feel the fall. I still hear myself screaming for my baby." I nodded. "Release the stairwell footage." The video appeared under her stream within seconds, then everywhere. Madison's smile froze. "What video? I don't know what you're talking about. That's fake." Cole murmured, "Not yet. She'll reach for the baby lie next." She did. Even if I fell by myself, Evelyn caused it. She terrorized me. She put my baby in danger. Nate hit the next release, the forged clinic letter, the witness statement, the payment trail. Madison's face went white. "That's private medical information," she stammered. "They can't." Then she made the mistake that buried her. She held up her phone to text someone and accidentally showed the payment confirmation from Halston Media. The transfer made 3 hours after my proposal had been downloaded. Cole leaned forward. "She just exposed the transfer herself." Nate smiled. "She brought receipts to her own funeral." The comments exploded. Reporters picked it up in real time. The clinic employee posted his own statement. "Madison Vale paid me to forge the report. She was never tested. She was never pregnant." I sat down because my knees had forgotten their purpose. Cole crouched beside me, still standing. "Barely. That's my girl." I looked at him. "Your girl." He cleared his throat. Slip of the tongue. Then Madison, unraveling in front of thousands, shouted through tears. "Grant said he would protect me. He said he would marry me if I kept quiet." At Whitmore Global, the emergency board meeting began before midnight. Victoria invited me to attend the next morning. Grant hated that. I could tell by the way his face tightened when I walked into the boardroom with Cole and Nate. Victoria sat at the head of the table. "Proceed." Nate presented the access logs first. Madison's device had opened Bennett Strategies' restricted proposal through Grant's executive permission key. Grant insisted. My account was misused. Cole asked, "Did you approve the two-factor authentication?" Grant looked down. "I thought it was for archived Whitmore materials." I said, "You trusted her with my work, but not me with my own truth." Then Nate displayed Grant's text to Madison 13 minutes after her first defamatory post. "Don't respond. Let it cool her down." My voice shook. "You watched them call me crazy and thought it would calm me down." Victoria's expression hardened. "Grant, did you knowingly allow access to restricted materials and fail to correct defamatory statements?" He answered, "I was trying to protect the company." Victoria rose. "Then this company needs protection from you. Effective immediately, Grant Whitmore is suspended as acting CEO." Grant stood. "You can't do this." "I just did." "You're destroying your own son." "No, I'm stopping him from destroying everything else." He pointed at me. "This is because of her." Victoria's voice cracked like ice. "This is because of you. We chose decency. You abandoned it." Outside, the press had already gathered. Someone shouted at Victoria, "Is it true Evelyn Hart was taken in by your family as a charity case?" Victoria stopped on the steps. I reached for her arm. "You don't have to answer." She squeezed my hand and faced the cameras. "No, Evelyn Hart is my daughter, not by blood, by choice. And choice is the only kind of family that ever mattered to me." Another reporter yelled, "But your biological son is under investigation because of her accusations." "My son is under investigation because of his own actions. Evelyn owes us nothing. I am choosing the truth over a coward. If I must lose a son to protect my daughter, then my son should have behaved like one." I cried then, not loudly, not prettily, just enough for the girl I had been to finally hear someone claim her without shame. That evening, I spoke publicly for the first time. The reporter asked, "Why speak now?" "Because people have been telling my story like it's gossip. It's not. It's my life." "Is it true your father gambled away your home?" Cole shifted behind the cameras, ready to stop the interview. I kept going. "Yes, he was violent. He drank. He made choices no child should have to survive. But being hurt as a child did not make me a liar as a woman." Madison Vale claimed you used your history with the Whitmores to control Grant. "I didn't control Grant. I trusted him. There's a difference." "Do you want to respond to Madison directly?" I looked into the camera. "Madison, you wore my mother's necklace to hurt me. You filmed me to frame me. You faked a pregnancy to make the world hate me. And you stole my work because you couldn't steal my life fast enough. Are you alleging Madison sold your company's proposal to Halston Media?" "I'm not alleging. I'm proving. Tomorrow, the board will hear exactly how Grant Whitmore helped her get access." The next day, Bennett's strategy returned to the client pitch room. Halston Media had lowered the price after stealing our work, stripping out the expensive safeguards I had built. Their version looked cheaper because it was weaker. When it was my turn, I stood at the screen with my hands steady. "You don't need the cheapest partner," I told the executives. "You need the one still standing when the room catches fire. Our strategy survived sabotage because it was built for pressure. We improved the plan after the leak, strengthened the risk controls, and documented every vulnerability Halston ignored." The Halston representative sneered. "This is emotional manipulation." "No," I replied. "Emotional manipulation was stealing my work and hopping I'd be too broken to improve it." The room went still. An hour later, the client returned. "We're awarding the contract to Bennett's strategy." I exhaled for the first time in days. "Thank you, my team earned it." Cole leaned toward me. "Still think you're just the girl they took in." I looked at the signed contract in my hands. "No, I think I'm the woman they underestimated." "Much better." Then he turned to the room. "I have an announcement. Evelyn Hart is no longer senior strategist." My stomach dropped. "Excuse me." Cole smiled. "She's partner, effective immediately." The room erupted. I stared at him. "You didn't tell me." I like surprising beautiful women with power. That's your big surprise. No. He reached into his jacket and pulled out a small velvet box. For one wild second, my heart stopped. He opened it. Inside was a cufflink that matched the one still holding my gala dress together in my closet. I laughed. You kept the other one. I figured we should make it a set again. That's your big surprise. Still no. He took my hands, not kneeling, not performing, just standing with me like an equal. Evelyn Hart, you are infuriating, brilliant, impossible to scare, and terrible at asking for help. You don't need a man to save you. You never did. But if you ever want one beside you, while you burn down every room that tried to cage you, I'd like the job. My throat tightened. That was almost romantic. I'm evolving. Then yes. He blinked. Yes. Yes to beside me, not ahead of me, not behind me, beside me. His smile finally broke open. Weeks later, Madison Vale faced civil suits and a criminal investigation for fraud, harassment, evidence tampering, and corporate theft. Brooke Landry deleted her videos, then her apology, then her whole channel for 3 days before returning with a new hairstyle and no shame. Grant Whitmore was removed from executive leadership pending the final board review. His inheritance was frozen. His name still opened doors, but fewer people wanted him inside. He came to see me once. I met him in the lobby of Bennett Strategy, the same building where reporters had thrown coffee at me and called me desperate. He looked smaller without the title. Evelyn, he said, please just listen. I listened for 10 years. I'm done. Madison lied to me too. And somehow you're still the victim. I know I hurt you. I know I made mistakes. Mistakes? I stepped closer. You gave her my necklace. You let her call me crazy. You watched the world tear my childhood apart. When she accused me of killing a baby that never existed, you believed her. His eyes filled. I was scared. So was I, but I didn't become cruel. I lost everything. No, Grant, you're not sorry you hurt me. You're sorry it cost you. He whispered. Forever was supposed to mean something. Forever ended in room 603. I walked away before he could make grief another room I had to live in. Victoria was waiting for me upstairs. She held out a small wrapped box. Family tradition, she said. Don't argue. Inside was a silver bracelet with a tiny blue stone, the same shade as my mother's scarf. I touched it carefully. Thank you. Victoria brushed my hair back the way my mother used to. You look happy. I looked through the glass wall at Cole arguing with Nate over contract language, at my team laughing around the conference table, at the city that had watched me fall and then watched me stand. I am. For years, I thought choosing Grant meant choosing a home. Then I learned a home built on someone else's permission can be locked against you the moment you stop obeying. So I built another one. Not out of revenge, though revenge had its moments. Not out of a new man, though Cole made standing beside someone feel less like surrender and more like weatherproofing. I built it out of my own name, my own work, my own voice, and the truth I had finally stopped apologizing for. Grant once told me that seat was mine. He was wrong. The whole road was. If this story reached a place in you that still remembers being blamed for what someone else did, tell me in the comments what you would have done when Madison went live. Would you have exposed her immediately, or waited until she buried herself? Share this with someone who needs to remember that surviving is not shameful. Subscribe to Wounds and Wonder, and come back for the next story. Some wounds teach us where we were broken, but wonder begins the moment we choose ourselves.